I was recently answering a question a theist asked about pain and suffering. As he was talking about disease and purpose, this question sort of spilled out of him. And the question revealed a lot of fears he has when he considers that there might not be a God. He asked, if there is no God, why live? And I realized we hear this question way too often. It may be that it's usually rhetorical, and people who use it are just trying to strengthen their argument. But interestingly, I've never heard a theist explain why they think living with the assumption that there is a God is so great, as opposed to living without believing in any God or gods. It's as if they think the benefits should be self-apparent to everybody, even to atheists. It's like maybe they've lived so long with their own assumptions that they don't know what it's like not to assume what they're assuming. But assumptions don't make for very good conversation, or at least they don't make for very good communication. Maybe when you hear theists ask, why live? They mostly don't really mean it. I mean, maybe it is a rhetorical device, but the question is so common that I have to wonder if there's a grain of truth to it, a grain of sincerity. It's hard to imagine that there might be gobs of theists out there who would, honestly think that they have no reason to live if their assumptions and their doctrine, just slipped a little bit, or maybe even had a profound change. But the few who might really mean it would benefit, I think, from a sincere response. So, this is my request and challenge. Let's answer this question as a community. Let's help pantheists, polytheists, theists, deists, agnostics, and atheists really think about what there is to live for. Let's flood YouTube with sincere answers to the question, why live? The answer can be your personal opinion, as in why you personally like living, or why you live, or what gets you up in the morning, what you love. It can include why all humans, or all mammals, or even all living creatures live. You can even aim it at a certain person. Maybe someone on YouTube has asked this of you. Or you could use family and friends as inspiration. For example, if I could go back in time and talk to my cousin before he committed suicide, what would I say to him? What would I ask of him? Being able to talk about reasons to live could have been very helpful for him. I don't know. Something like that could be your inspiration. If you are watching this video and thinking that you don't have a reason to live, and you don't want to live, please, especially if you're thinking about acting on that and hurting yourself, please contact someone you know and trust. I'm going to include other contact info if you don't feel like you have someone you know that you can talk to. I'll save some space after the video to list resources for you. And also I'd like to ask, does anybody out there know of any better resources that I can post on this video? Please help me out. You don't need me to tell you how to make a video, but I do have some suggestions. Number one, so that these videos show up together when people check on YouTube, include the title regarding atheists, why live, or why live, and atheist answers, or something like that, so that they show up together. When you make your video, post it as a response to this video by coming back to this video, clicking on post a video response, and then it'll prompt you how to upload it. Of course, I am not just including atheists. I'm not excluding my agnostic friends. I grew up primarily Protestant Christian, so that is the background I bring to all of my videos. But I think it'd be really neat to hear from people who are who grew up in different faith backgrounds or who grew up with no religion at all. That'll be pretty cool. This is open to the whole YouTube community, so pass it on. Suggestion number 2. Let's keep it civil. Remember, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. So, in other words, follow the golden rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Talk to other people the way you want to be talked to. Obviously, I'm not saying to do that because some religious person said it. I'm saying that because it's nice, it makes the world a better place, and it works. Number 3, explain yourself thoughtfully. Don't make the same mistake that a lot of theists make when they ask the question, why live? Don't assume there's a readily apparent answer, an automatic win for your argument. Though the answer is clear to you, someone who's been operating under a different set of assumptions all his or her life may not even be able to understand where you're coming from. They may not understand your position at all. So, like I said, explain yourself thoughtfully. We all have base assumptions, and those assumptions make us interpret the same information in vastly different ways. So, trying to explain our thought processes will help bridge ideological gaps that humans have really been needing to bridge for, gosh, as long as we've had ideological differences. Number 4, separate atheism from philosophies. Atheism is one answer to one question. It's not a cohesive worldview, and it is not a religion. I think people who think atheism is a religion get kind of confused because, well, atheism has a very strong correlation with skepticism, scientific literacy, and a-supernaturalism, non-supernaturalism. So that could, from the outside looking in, that could look like a set of doctrine that you have to subscribe to be part of the club. But I've met atheists who do believe in the supernatural, and I've met Christians who don't. They really do exist. They've written books. What I'm trying to say is that, unlike most religions, there's no doctrine associated with atheism, so our answers are going to be widely varied. My point is not to confuse the intended audience by making atheism seem like a life philosophy. It's probably not atheism that makes you want to jump up in the morning. It's probably not atheism that helps you enjoy life. So if you can put a name to some of your philosophies, like existentialism or humanism or skepticism or whatever, if you can put a name to it, those labels might be helpful. Or if you can somehow point out that your reasons to live are independent of your atheism, that'll go a long way in helping dispel this idea that atheism is a religion or a life philosophy. Number 5, be as positive and sincere as possible. Don't be negative the whole video. Remember, we're fighting stereotypes on multiple levels, so let's not entrench this idea that we're sarcastic and angry while trying to dispel the myth that we're really a miserable lot and we have nothing to live for. Number 6, logic. It would be totally fine to spend some time addressing the fallacies of thinking inherent in the question, if there's no God, why live? Taking a serious inventory of what God belief might have to offer would also be reasonable. Asking theists why live is also a reasonable response. A positive video will probably make a better impact and will make your points better, but these, stepping into this specifically logical stuff could help make your points better. 7, I respect your freedom of speech and your desire to be true to yourself. So if you think it would be best for you to use a photo montage to answer, or a music video, or an interpretive dance, or modern art, whatever, go for it. Whatever it is, go for it. I've never done this before, but I'll be tagging some YouTubers. So, here's some of them. Ooh, magic. And here, probably some more. And you don't have to be tagged to answer, so please spread the word. I really do, well, like I said, I want to see YouTube flooded with answers to this insidious meme of if there is no God, you have no reason to live. I want a reasonable answer to that. And not just reasonable and logical, but inspiring. Wow, that'd be neat. I wish you all